Good afternoon and welcome to a daily dose of good news on Tuesday, December the 29th. It's good to be with you one more time with the Christmas tree in the background. It's coming down today. Good news comes to us from Matthew the 12th chapter, verses 46 to 50. While he was still speaking to the crowds, his mother and his brothers were standing outside wanting to speak to him. Someone told him, "Look, your mother and your brothers are standing outside wanting to speak with you." But to the one who told him this, Jesus replied, "Who is my mother? And who are my brothers?" And pointing at his disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." Here ends the reading. Jesus seems to add some particularity to the understanding of family, which has been in formulation as far back as the giving of the Jewish law so many generations before. As elsewhere in his preaching and teaching, Jesus gives equal footing to both dimensions of the Great Commandment: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. The Torah teaches the meaning of the second half of that greatest commandment to mean love your neighbor as your kin. That added perspective has always expanded the impact of the commandment for me. Okay, I'm called to look after my neighbor the way I look after myself. Yet then to say I'm called to look after my neighbor the way I look after my own kin, whom I would gladly put before myself in every instance, that's a radical, community transforming kind of love. Then we look a little further into the call for neighborly love, where it first shows up in Leviticus chapter 19, and we recognize the Jewish understanding of neighbor is likely to love your clansman, your community member, an insider, the way you love your kin. Yet later in the same chapter, the same priority is indicated to love aliens, foreigners, to love outsiders as your kin. A priority Jesus seems to reiterate in the parable of the Good Samaritan when he associates as a neighbor those northern scoundrel half-breed called Samaritans. Then in our passage for today, when his own nuclear family comes calling, Jesus stays true to the understanding of family that includes more than his own blood mother and brothers, to include anyone who heeds God's will to love God and neighbor as one's kin. Such are the family values espoused within the community of faith, which God has been cultivating through the centuries. A set of values that finds us caring and supporting each other during difficult times, even like a pandemic. As if each of us is brother and sister to each other, with such mutual love being a sign of God's loving presence among us. As God's favorite form of love is our mutual love for each other as kin, which simultaneously is the surest way that we can love God. Thanks be to God, friends, for the call and opportunity we have for sharing that mutual love together as blood family, as faith family, and friends, especially given the eternal character of that love, which God reveals in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Mutual love in the flesh. Amen. Good to be with you again today. Pray you and yours are well as this year draws to a close, and we look forward to the opportunities and I'm sure challenges of 2021 as well. Take care, be well, stay safe. Bye-bye.